is my first time live streaming with my phone. It's weirding me out. I've never done it before. I didn't share my link because I'm on my phone, so I'm like not a huge like technology person. Um, I'm kind of even wondering like if you're there, can you give me a like or something so that I know you're there? Hold on a second. It's like the worst way to start a live stream. Oh, I can't even see the chat. Oh, hi, somebody's there. I don't know who it is. Hi. Oh my God. I'm live on my phone for the first time ever. Welcome. I got a message. Hold on a second. I look at, hi, Firefly. Oh my God. This is so exciting. Hi guys. I've always wanted to do this, but I'm such a loser when it comes to technology. Hi, Winona. Oh my God. This is so cool. I can literally see your messages right here. This is awesome. Hi, Thompson. Super. Oh my God. So cool. Hi, Hollyberry. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to like take these off every time. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is my first time. Okay, so you guys know I do own a smartphone now. I finally got with the times a little bit. And after many months of having it, hi, oh hi, I will say hi to Erin. Thanks. After many months of having the smartphone, I finally worked up the nerve to log in. Can you believe it? Hi, Michelle. Hi, Karen. I didn't even log into any of my accounts. Thank you, Firefly. I'm still not even logged into Facebook. I logged into my email first, then I logged into Google, and I only did that like a month ago, or not even. Anyway, like, and I've had this phone for a whole year. Can you believe it? Anyway, I finally worked up the nerve to do it. And the reason is, okay, you guys, hi, Justin. Hi, Shartney. So you guys might notice I haven't really been on here um, much for the last week, and it's because I've been super busy. I'm yeah, we're live. Yeah, I'm working on a personal project. I really want to tell you guys what it is. Hi, Grove. Hello, Grover. Welcome to the live stream. So, wait. Near? Far. Okay. So, before I get completely off track being Grover here. So the thing is, like, I'm doing something that's really, really, really huge. Hi in Arizona. Okay, so you know how like we all have these like bucket lists of things that we want to do that just kind of stay on the list because this, because that. We put them off. Some things that we feel like they're totally impossible. Um, and maybe one day they'll be possible, but there's stuff holding us back, right? Well, I think that the last 2 years, it kind of gave me like a kick in the butt that to get some things done that I really want to do, some things that I've had on my list. And I'm about to embark on one of them. I didn't really like make it public before, even though this has been in the plans for a while. You guys know that there's been a whole ton of restrictions in Canada in the last couple of years. You know, there were a lot of travel restrictions. Well, hi, what is it? Moral nomad. Hi. So there was a lot of restrictions, and unfortunately, you guys know I went somewhere in 2018, and in 2019 I decided that I was going to save money and get rid of my credit card debt and not go anywhere. So I didn't go anywhere. And then 2020 we could go somewhere, but they were like, "Oh, but the COVID, and so I didn't go. And then 2021 you could go somewhere, but it was like, oh, but the quarantine, oh, but the hotel quarantine. So it was like, and I was kind of like a lot of people, I was waiting for it to get better. And I finally just realized, guys, I think it's not going to get better. Like, not in Canada anyway. I have a feeling. Um, yeah, Annie, like they're still working on it, but I think public support has kind of gone down a lot. You guys know I've talked a few times about the known traveler digital identity program. Man, the camera's so shaky. Earthquake. Uh, and so this is here to stay. Hi, Matt. Known traveler digital identity. It's got nothing to do with COVID. It's not, well, I mean, other than that, COVID has been helpful for it. It's just a program. They're working on making us have digital ID. You guys know that. Our Quebec government's talked about it. And Canada and the Netherlands are partners with the World Economic Forum for known traveler digital identity. And that's why we're like the only two countries that still have like big restrictions on who can come in our case, even whether we can go out and what happens when we come back. And when I saw that stuff, I realized like I'm not going to wait for this to end. I'm just going to live my life now. I'm going to do what I need to do. I've got a bucket list and I'm going to get some of it done. So you see what this is right here on the bed? See what that is? That's Gunner's clothing. So what I'm doing basically is I'm going to travel. I'm heading out. And you guys know my situation with Aaron, like I take care of him. And I've never been away from Aaron for more than 10 days in the last 18 years. And you guys have seen the videos I did traveling with Aaron. And I think the kind of travel that I'm going to do with Gunner, it's not possible for us to have Aaron with us. You can travel with Aaron, but it's a whole different thing. But I want to do something with Gunner that I've been promising him to do for a long time, which is backpacking, which is traveling very lightly and very no frills, a lot of moving around. So it's just going to be me and Gunner. We're going to do it. And this is literally all we're bringing. And I don't want to tell you everything about where we're going to go. I'm live streaming now because that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to take you guys going to Antarctica. Yeah, I had this dream for Gunner when he was young. You guys know we traveled together. And I was like, Gunner, when you're older, I'm going to take you backpacking. You're only going to have like 5 days worth of clothing. And you're going to be on the move and you're going to be going to different places and staying like little low rent accommodations. And we're going to like have some adventures. And then in the last few years, it felt like, oh, that's never going to happen, but it is going to happen. I'm making it happen. And it's cool because, I didn't travel for 4 years, right? So my credit card debt's gone down a bit. And honestly, I don't even care about the money because our money's not going to be worth anything shortly. It's crazy. Like everything is getting devalued. Price of everything's going way up. So what am I waiting for? Am I waiting for my money to be worth absolutely nothing so I can't even do anything with it? Or am I waiting for the government to tell me that I can't leave unless or like the other country, oh, ETIAS waiver next year for Europe. You have to qualify with all this stuff. Yeah, you have to prove your financial situation, employment history, your medical history. You have to do all that. Hi, Jeff. Yeah, you have to do all these things, right? They don't want us to travel. Bottom line, it's about climate change, right? It's about the environment. I got to put this thing down. Like I'm getting a serious workout holding this camera. Put it here for now. This isn't even going to be about COVID anymore. This is about the planet, and the idea is that they want to restrict human consumption of fossil fuels and all this kind of stuff as much as possible. So I'm not going to wait around until it goes away because, yeah, and there, there's more to it than that. Hi, Jeff. Other Jeff. Hi. I mean, I've done videos where I told you about the articles that we had in our local papers where they were talking to us about how, it's not just our local paper. I mean, this was the conference that I think it was held in South Africa this year. They're talking about programmable digital currency. So it's going to be like eventually, you get paid and what you can do with that money is already decided for you. And everybody gets like a certain allotted amount of carbon credits for travel, for clothing, for this, for that, for food, for meat. Come on, like we know where this is heading. You guys seen how many factories they have for bugs here in Canada now? They've got like places where they're growing crickets. They were serving crickets on the hot dogs at, what's that thing that they have out west in Alberta? It's like that thing where all the cowboys go. Oh, I can't remember the name of it right now. If somebody knows, help me out. Stampede, Calgary Stampede. They were serving mealworms on the hot dogs at the Calgary Stampede. There's now like food in the stores where it says contains cricket protein. Contains bug protein. And some people are like super on board with that. Our Prime Minister, Trudeau, is now trying to cut the use of nitrogen fertilizer by 30%. The fertilizer, you know, you can't grow food without the fertilizer. Like, we can see where this is heading, right? So I'm looking at all this information, and what am I gathering all this information for? What am I going to do with it? I'm going to make better decisions, I hope. So, well, one decision I'm making is like, I'm going to do this while I can, because I don't think that this problem or this situation is going to go away anytime soon. You know, the irony of it is that how much fossil fuel does one private jet use, right, to carry like a handful of VIPs versus, you know, what we travel in or our cars? I mean, it's the restrictions. It's going to be on us, the little people at the bottom of the food chain, obviously, not the rich people, because with the carbon credit system, you can buy carbon credits. Oh, she's in Bali. Yeah, I've seen those kind of things, but the thing is, I can't do that because I do have to be here and take care of Aaron. And it's hard for me to even leave. Like, I keep telling him every day how much I love him and how much I'm gonna miss him. And I'm just all like, you know, oh, you know, that's a hard, I love him so much. I can't imagine, but like, it's gonna have to be this way. But yeah. Hi, Robert. It's really cool to see you guys like this. Soylent Green. Yeah, I seen that one. And They Live. Yeah, so they're trying to convince us to eat bugs, you know, but I'm sorry, no. I grew up not eating bugs. I have a hard time even eating shellfish, you know, so like, never mind bugs. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. They're trying to convince us that it's a great source of protein, but apparently there's one problem with it, which is that certain types of bugs produce some kind of, I don't know, it's like a kind of a toxin. I got the information here somewhere. You know what? I can actually pull it up if you guys want to know the facts about it. You know, somebody said my channel was based, and I really like that expression because it apparently means like fact-based, and I like to keep it based, you know. I like to keep it like factual and give you guys the 411. But let me see if I can find this thing. I had it open on my phone. Uh-oh. I thought I sent it to Aaron. Because I can't remember the name of the substance that's in the bugs. But does anybody remember what this is called? It's like CI something. It's not citrin, but it's like Sirin, or I can't find the link now. I want to keep it based. Anyway, let's put it this way. The bugs have some kind of something in them that we don't have the capacity to break that down. It's fine for birds because the birds, they have some kind of special enzyme. Sorry. They have some kind of special enzyme that breaks this stuff down, but we don't have that. Still trying to find it. So I don't know what, no, this isn't it. No, that says something else. Oh. You know, I got on Telegram and I really like it because it's like you can really, you can share, you know, whatever information you found. And you know me, like I said, I like to keep it based, right? It's got to be fact-based, but even fact-based, like sometimes it's not politically correct and you get censored on other platforms. But, oh, in the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany, they're making insect burgers, mealworms for bread. And now, instead of a beef cake, you get an insect cake. So it's like you're having a pure insect hamburger. Maybe it's this one here. It's on Science Direct. Ah, I found it, you guys. Chitin and chitinase. Role in pathogenicity, allergenicity, and health. Chitin, I'll read just a bit from the abstract. Chitin, a polysaccharide with a particular abundance in fungi, nematodes, and arthropods. Okay, not all the bugs that they want people to eat are arthropods. They're trying to get people to eat mealworms. And what was another one? Wait, crickets though. Are crickets arthropods? I'm not sure. But anyway, heads up. They have been endowed with chitinase enzyme. This is from Science Direct. Even if this enzyme is not present in all organisms, they possess proteins having chitin binding domains. This is weird. It says many lethal viruses like Ebola, hepatitis C have these domains to manipulate their carriers and target organisms, which doesn't mean that bugs have Ebola, but apparently some viruses have something like this too. Anyway, in keeping with the basic rule of survival, the self-origin, own body component chitins and chitinases are protective. Oh, so it's protective for the organism that has it. But that of non-self origin, like from other organisms, are detrimental to health. So the organism that produces the chitin, that's self-origin, own body component, it's protective for it. My Telegram link, I don't have a public page on there yet. I just have my own page, but maybe I'll make one. Yes, I have my Bible on hand. But hold on, wait, we're going in so many different directions here. Okay, so if the organism produces chitin, it's self-protective. But if it's not from it, like you got it from somewhere else, from what I'm understanding here, non-self origin are detrimental to health. What do? The exogenous chitins and chitinases provoke human innate immunity to generate a deluge of inflammatory cytokines, which injure organs, leading to asthma, atopic dermatitis, etc. And persistent situations lead to death. Multiple sclerosis, systemic lupus, cancer, etc. Unfortunately, chitinase simulated hypersensitivity is a common cause of occupational allergy. So this article, it's not about eating bugs, but they're just saying certain bugs have these proteins or whatever they are in a polysaccharide, sorry. And exposure to them, it says if it's in large enough doses, can cause like basically an autoimmune reaction. And apparently exposure also a common cause of occupational allergy. Interesting. I'd really like to know which ones are arthropods. Anybody want to Google that for me? Can help me out? Because I have like a kind of asthmatic allergy. Like so I'm actually coughing lately. I'm not sure what triggered it. I don't have roaches in my house, but I'm allergic to cockroaches. So if they get in my house, I get this like doggy, like this. I'm like always get this like spasm and cough. So I'm wondering if a cockroach is an arthropod. Please, somebody look up for me what, yeah, I have allergies. Like I've had them a long time and I know they trigger a little bit of asthma, but look up for me what bugs are arthropods, because I want to make sure that we don't eat those. I mean, YouTube, don't send me the meat grinder because maybe like it's going to be against the guidelines to tell people not to eat bugs, but for now it's not. Okay, invertebrate animals having an exoskeleton, segmented body, paired joint appendages, yes. Right, so, but like, and that's what a cockroach is. Exactly, like, because I mean, even all the things with exoskeletons, like lobsters and stuff, they're arthropods too, beetles, but grasshopper, cricket, that's what I want to know. Roach poop triggers asthma. That's me. Crickets. Okay, that's, okay, thank you. Yeah, so crickets are arthropods. Okay, so that's what I'm concerned about. Hi, Ohio Patriot. That's what I'm concerned about. Like, we're going to be eating this stuff. Do they have a way to make it safer? I mean, I'm not saying like I'm going to be eating it, but like humanity as a whole. And I know that they do eat bugs in Asia, but from what I'm understanding, because I've been looking into this, because man, are they pushing this? Like, there's a lot of articles coming up. Thank you, eccentricity. A lot of articles constantly in my Facebook feed, like encouraging about the bug eating. Angelina Jolie does it, so it must be okay. Yeah, lots of articles, articles about factories where they're growing these crickets. They're selling these things as snacks. They're putting them in. You have to check the label in the back because, you know, yeah, like what if you have an allergy, right? and you don't expect to have bugs in your food, but if you have some kind of allergy, you could be in trouble, so check the label. Most things don't have bugs in them. Oh, thank you so much. And that's not going to be gas money. That's going to be train money. Thank you, les déplorables. So, yeah, and John the Baptist ate locusts and honey. It's true. So in hi Shaolin, hi everybody. So in Asia they do eat bugs, but not as a staple, from what I understand. Like they're like a delicacy, like a snack. Like we eat shrimp here, but we don't eat shrimp like every day, you know. I mean, what would be a delicacy for us would be like smoked oysters or mussels or some kind of like special little thing, caviar. Like we eat those things, but we don't eat them all the time. So, you know, I mean, I don't know how much of this they eat there and which ones, and it's part of their culture, and they probably know what's safe to eat. I don't know if putting like massive amounts of crickets, arthropods, using that as flour. I don't know. I'm really disgusted about the mealworm bread buns. Like that's disgusting. I don't think I could ever get on board. I think they're gonna have work to do, because when it's that far ingrained in you, yeah, it's not it's not halal, it's not kosher. I mean, I was raised Jewish, right? I still have trouble eating seafood. I mean, I eat it a bit now. But I mean, when you grow up where like you just don't eat something, and my parents weren't religious or anything like that, but I don't know, we just didn't eat it very much. When you grow up like not eating certain things, and then you get to like 40 or 50 and they're like, okay, you're gonna eat bugs now, it's gonna be a hard sell. You know, good luck. Yeah, I eat bacon now sometimes, yeah. But how are they going to get us to do that? I think it's going to be hard. Okay, you bought a box of Cricket protein bars? Oh no. You ate them. Oh my gosh. Really? I feel weird about it. I kind of think that if I ate a protein bar and I didn't know there was cricket in it, I probably would be like thinking it tastes fine. And then I find out it's crickets. I'd be like, oh my God, I can't get it out of me, you know? Get it out. Chickens eat crickets, yeah, but you know, they're chickens, right? Okay, so what it says here, unfortunately, chitinase stimulated hypersensitivity is a common cause of occupational allergy. On the other hand, chitin and its deacetylated derivative chitosan are increasingly proving useful in pharmaceutical, agricultural, and biocontrol applications. So deacetylated derivative. Okay, so I guess it's been processed. This critical review discusses the complex nexus of chitin and chitinase and assesses both their pathogenic as well as utilitarian aspects. So, I mean, look, if you guys want to check it out, it's called Chitin and Chitinase, Role in Pathogenicity, Allergenicity, and Health. And it's on Science Direct, and this is about the bugs. Thank you so much, Not Two T's, going directly to the train fair. Yeah, so this is all about, you know, anyway, I mean, I got off on a big tangent about eating bugs, but let me tell you, like, I get like what you call news bloat, where like I consume so much news for a time, then eventually it like I just start to bloat with the news, and then it just has to come out, you know. So here I'm just like relieving myself of the news bloat. So like I've been looking into all this stuff with the bugs, right? Oh, my son's PlayStation is talking to me. Hold on, I'm gonna have to like do something about that. Are you gonna hear my son's annoying friend? So like here, this is where we're heading, man. We're heading for digital ID. All kinds of like, you need to get permission to go to Europe. You need to get permission to go here or there. And plus we're going to eat bugs, and we're going to have programmable digital currency. So basically I just see like, even though the COVID thing is kind of dying down these days, and maybe I'll talk to you about that a little bit, but in general, this restriction business isn't going anywhere. So I want to show you, oh, I can actually turn the camera around. Let me try this out. You guys, I'm going to take you with me. We're going to be backpacking. I don't want to tell you where. It's going to be a surprise. And I'm just looking at your comments. And we're going to be in like different places all the time with like, wait, this is Gunner's backpack. Okay, wait, I'm going to turn around. I have so much stuff to do before I leave. Oh my God. Hold on. Oh, it worked. Oh my God. Like, I can't even, okay, make sure there's nothing like incriminating around first before I didn't even check. Okay, here's Gunner's backpack. Isn't this cool? It's like, it's called Mill Tactical something. It's made to look like a military backpack. I was like, gee, Gunner, I don't know. Like, are they going to let you on the plane with that? But it's just a backpack. It came from Winners, but it's so cool because it has an outside pocket for, you know, whatever your water bottle. It's got one pocket here, and then this is another zipped pocket here, which is so cool. It's like very practical. I love that when there's lots of places to put your stuff. And then here's another one. And then it's got straps here so you can tighten it so you can make it smaller. Because it's got to be small or they won't let it on as a carry-on because we're only having carry-on. And then, you know, there's one more like pocket thing here. So basically what I did, you see this? I sewed these things on. Somebody talking about eating rats. Like, yeah, I got some pigeons on my balcony. And sometimes I think like, you know, down the road, like the price of food's going to go up and we're going to be having roast pigeon. I like to think of them as balcony chickens. Actually, Aaron's like, get those pigeons off your balcony. Why do you let them lay eggs there? I'm like, I don't know. They might come in handy down the road, you know. We never know, right? Balcony chickens. Okay, so his bag. Let me show you. So I put these things here. These are like some vintage, like kind of hook and eyelet things. And then, well, I've only got one hand free, but the idea is to hook it on. Hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out how this works, but what if I put it here? I can put my thing like this. So, yeah, like I'm sort of cheating, right? Okay, so then I'm going to fold the bag like this, and then I'm going to hook this here and hook this here. And then this is what we get because, man, the restrictions are very tight for like what you can bring and how big it can be. It's like really not very big at all. So I'm going to take that big backpack. And because I put these things on it, I can fold it down like that and I can hook it up with, I call them the Chinese clasps because they look like on a Chinese jacket, you know. They're vintage. These things are like super old. They were my mom's. Came in very handy. I'm trying to turn it around. Yeah, sometimes it's not a bad thing to be like a bit of a pack rat. You know, this stuff comes in handy. So I put all that stuff on there. So that now it's the requisite size. So now we can take it. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then once we get there, I can take these off and we can stretch the bag out if he needs more stuff. And then I can get him more stuff and like put more things. But like the amount of stuff we're taking is super minimal. Hi, Artes. Artes Liberales. Sounds like Latin. Oh, thank you so much. And you know what, Artis, I like that you always use the same, what do you call that, avatar? Because like I always know right away it's you. And I recognize you. Okay, so this is what he's bringing. So it's literally like 5 t-shirts, maybe 6, 1 long sleeve t-shirt, 3 pairs of pants, 6 pairs of underwear, 1 pair of shorts, 1 pair of swim trunks. Like that's all the clothes that he's going to have in his backpack. And of course they're all going to be rolled up like this. And like the Crocs, I guess we're going to bring. And then that's what he's going to wear like when we're traveling. And then we're going to have some socks. But I mean, it's really small. Like all his stuff is going to fit in there. And for me, where's my bag? Well, it should be here somewhere. I already packed it, and I don't know where it is. That's kind of weird. It's got to be here. It's like the day before I leave, and like I packed my bag way in advance, and then like 2 days before I leave, I lose my bag. Oh, no, I put it in here. Okay, look. See, I put everything in this little tiny little carry-on, and then it turns out it's half an inch too big. Half an inch too big. I can't use it. I can't even use that. So this is what I'm going to be living out of. I'll show you. This is it. This is it. That's it. Like this is all I'm bringing with me. That's it. No, not hiking boots. Like the idea is the heaviest, a Yamaha piano. You saw it under there, yeah. That was a gift. Actually, Aaron gave me that like, oh, like 18 years ago. It was a keyboard. I used to play keyboards for money sometimes. And he gave me that because he wanted to hear me play piano and he couldn't come into my apartment because he couldn't get in because of the stairs. So he bought that keyboard for me and I used it a lot, like for work. Yeah. But I don't use it anymore. I decided playing the piano for a living, it's actually an insane amount of work and you don't make money like you used to and whatever. I don't do it anymore. It's been a couple of years. I played a bit at a retirement home on a real piano, but carrying that keyboard around on a dolly, like, oh my gosh, no thanks. Anyway, that's my keyboard. Yeah, but it's under there because like I was saying, I don't use it anymore. So that's it. Like I'm doing our bucket list. Extremely minimalist sort of travel. Sorry guys. And I'm taking Gunner and yeah, we're going to be sort of like hopping from one place to the next like every couple of days, and I'm going to be able to, I guess, live stream on my camera. I'm just realizing actually I don't even know how to end this thing. Like I'm going to be here forever, I guess. You're going to have to just, it's going to be like a webcam girl. You can see everything, you know. I don't know how to end the live stream. Wait, what does this do? I watched a tutorial, but I forgot what they said about how to end it. Hold on. I don't know how to end the live stream. Oh wait, do you press the X? That must be it. It better be, because then I'll press the X and then it's like the live stream is not ended. And I think it is ended, and you guys have like a window into my life like forever. Like paranoid, you know? So yeah, like there's a lot of like preparation. I feel like the lighting's really bad in here. Hold on, I'll take you somewhere else. Oh, oops. Uh-oh. Ooh, my high-tech setup. This is what I have my camera on, by the way, like when I'm, it's just that, and it's like on top of my sewing machine. Yeah, there's a lot of preparation to do because I'm going to be gone for a while, longer than usual, and I've never left Aaron that long, and I had to get somebody to take care of him, and I had to take care of all his stuff before I leave, make sure everything is good. This one here, maybe I can come in here. How's that? This is my room. So the lighting's like really bad in my whole house. This is my room right here. Oh, I should just turn it around. You want to see it? That's my room. I like it, actually. I love that stuff that I have there on the walls and that curtain. And yeah, you have worse lighting. Not worse than this. Look, my kitchen. Don't you just love this hibiscus thing? And my mother did this painting. She's pretty talented. Hibiscus garland, and then this is burnt out. I'm waiting for Gunnar to help me. It seems like it's foggy. I must have touched something. But yeah, we're gonna be moving around a lot. You know, when it comes to travel, hold on, I have to like block this for 1 second. Special effects. It's because it was greasy or something. I like to see some historical stuff, so I hope you guys like. I'm trying to figure out like where can I go where you guys can actually see me. It's so dark in here. I hope you like historical stuff, and obviously if there's any like political upheaval and any riots, and I happen to be there, I'll be able to live stream. But the trip is not so much about that. It's more just about doing our bucket list. And you guys remember at the beginning of the summer, I told you like we're going to have a good summer. And I feel like this trip is blessed and like everything is just lined up. I never thought that I'd be able to go somewhere like that with Gunnar. I mean, it was a dream, but I did not really think that I could make it happen because there's just so many things. And and then actually it is happening. How crazy is that? And Aaron is okay with it. And then there's one more thing, which is that my landlord sent me an eviction notice. Are we going to walk? Well, we're going to walk a lot, but no, we're going to be staying in sort of like kind of lower end hotels, but not the most low rent. Like, I don't want it to be dangerous because I'm going to be there with my kid. Hi, Miss Angie. Um, I don't want to put him in a place that's like a place where like drug addicts and stuff, rent a room. I don't want to go like that. So they're from Expedia and they're kind of like on the lower end, but I'm not gonna. Oh, you said no? Sorry, what happened? Yeah, about the landlord. Oh, it's completely bogus. He doesn't have a case at all. Okay, I'll tell you the story. I was planning to tell you at some point. I wish I could find somewhere to put this camera down though, and yet also have decent lighting. I'm trying to figure that out. Where can I put it? Okay, I'll have to sit here. Sorry about it. It's so dark and everything. Maybe the lighting is better when it's on the phone. I'm really stoked that I can do this on my phone. It's so cool. That's great. I should have been doing this the whole time. Anyway, better late than never. Oh, by the way, I also have a couple of Anita videos that they're really bad, but I really want to share them with you. That they were actually shot in May, but it took me like up until now to like, I'm gonna put them up eventually. The landlord, what happened was, I mean, and I think this is like a totally lame story. But, oh wait, are you making more videos on the C word? No, I make videos on facts, man, not theories, So like if something's a fact, like I do talk about it all the time. Known traveler, digital identity, World Economic Forum, you're going to eat bugs and be happy. I talk about that stuff all the time because that's the real stuff that really matters. That's what's really happening, But the like weird theories where we're not really sure what happened, I never really got into that. I did a few, but it was more just because I know people kind of wanted to know what I had to say about it. But I mean, I what I care about is I want to live the best life that I can, and I want to make best decisions. So I just prefer to focus on information that's more practical and like more useful to me. Okay, so I'll tell you the landlord story. So in 2019, the building got sold. It got sold to this large corporation. My old landlord, he had some mental health problems. I'm putting that like very gingerly. He had some actual like serious mental health problems, and he was very cheap, and he used to pay his repairmen to not replace parts. Oh, the lighting's fine? Okay, good. Thanks. And the building was like dilapidated, and it was a bit of a crack house, like not like literally like, but I mean, it was a bit of a slum building in like a kind of good neighbor. Like this neighborhood used to be really bad. I've explained before. Lots and lots of dealers and this kind of stuff. And then people realized like, hey, this is downtown. This is like prime real estate. So then the developers came, and the neighborhood eventually went more and more upwardly mobile. And this building is kind of like one of the older buildings, which it was still a bit of like a slumlord building, And he sold the building finally, but he sold it to this big corporation. So with the old landlord, if you had to reach him, you could reach him. You could like, they had an office. You could go there. You could call. You could, send him a registered letter or whatever. With this corporation, you don't know who you're dealing with. So they send me a letter for renewal of my lease in 2019, and they proposed a rent increase. And I of course responded, and I said, well, I won't accept $32, but I'll accept 15. So I counter offered, and they wrote me back saying they were refusing my counter offer. They then applied to the rental board to set my rent, but I think they did it too late. And the day before the hearing, they withdrew their application and canceled the hearing. So they refused my offer, and there was no hearing. In the meantime, the following year, they asked me for an increase of $30 or something, and I said, well, I'll give you 25. And I was trying to be nice because I hadn't given them one. They didn't get one the year before, as far as I could tell. So then what happened was that rent increase went into effect in May 2021. It went up $25. But in March 2021, the day after they canceled their application for the rental court to set my rent, they retroactively applied a rent increase of $25 for the previous year, which they didn't have a right to do. And they didn't even notify me. And then in August, they're telling me, oh, you owe $275. And I was like, what for? And the woman, the secretary, couldn't even tell me. She was like, I don't know. And it says correction rent May to March. So they didn't accept my counteroffer and they didn't have the court set the rent, but they retroactively billed me a rent increase, which in Montreal, they don't have a right to do that. Yeah, it's really completely bogus. So now there's an outstanding balance on my account of $275. It was more, but the next month they billed me that higher amount, and I don't know, I didn't notice. Like, did I pay it at some point? I don't know. But anyway, like in the end, it was $275 that I hadn't paid, that I didn't owe. And so it was like August 2021, they're telling me, like, you owe this money. And I'm like, well, can you send me a letter and tell me why I owe you this money? Like, what is it for, right? And I never heard anything. And then the next year, like, the secretary's like, oh, he wants to take you to court. And I was like, well, tell him to write me a letter, because I don't even know what the money is for. I can't just give him money because he says, oh, by the way, I want an extra $275 from you. So then the next thing is there's a bailiff at my door with a notice that he applied for eviction. And I was like, oh my God. You guys, I was doing my workouts during that time, and I was vlogging all about my workouts. And you might notice that all of a sudden I didn't do any more workouts. Well, no videos. Yeah, no, what happened was my life was completely like flipped upside down, because this was an emergency, because I'd already booked my trip and now they're trying to evict me. I had to drop everything. I had to go into my files, find all the communications between me and the landlord, and I had to contact a lawyer, because, you know, if I was going to be here, I think I could probably go to court and just be like, look, probably was maybe an accounting mistake that they billed me for something that I don't owe. And because they put all the tallies together, they count it as rent, but I don't really owe them rent. And so, like, don't evict me, please. But I won't even be here. But I refuse to cancel my trip. Because why? You know? Anyway, I'm so done. Seriously, I'm so done, like, trying to micromanage my life. I'm just like, whatever. If I get evicted, like, screw it. I don't know. Like, something will happen. I'll live somewhere else. I'll get a van. And I don't know. But low-income housing? I don't know. Well, yeah, I've seen it, though, and it's kind of... No, but there's a reason why I live in this apartment. It's because I'm Aaron's caregiver, and he lives downstairs. That's why I live here. Because if Aaron falls out of bed in the middle of the night, and it has happened, he's got to call somebody, like, here, put me back in bed. You know, I have to hoist him up. You know, if I'm living somewhere else, I'm not there. I'm his caregiver. I need to be there. I'm like his 24-hour, I'm his little helper, you know? So I don't live with him, so I'm not dealing with everything all the time. It's like when I'm not there and I don't see what's going on, like, I don't, because if you're like living in partner caregiver, I think it's kind of, it could be, and no offense to Aaron, and like, he actually knows, like, we talked about it. We want to talk a little bit more to you guys about the whole partner caregiver thing, but I don't think he'd mind me saying, because he's all for, like, you know, people understanding. There's a lot of disability channels where the couples live together, where one of them is the caregiver of the other. And the thing with that is, when you're the caregiver in the relationship, you're always seeing things that need taken care of. And you're likely to step in all the time. And it's just like you're just 24/7. You're just like automatically, like, reflexively helping this person, right? So when I'm not there, if I didn't see it, I don't know about it. So I'm not going to do it, right? So I'm only there taking care of him for, like, part of the day. So there's some structure to it. So it's not like my whole existence is just, I'm just saturated with just my caregiving role. So like the fact that we live apart, I think it's good for both of us for our mental health. But I do have to be very close by. So I'm in the same building as him. Yeah, go look at the disability channels like Roll with Cole or Roll with Cole and Charisma, for example, or whatever, There's a bunch of them. You can't just hire people to come and do that stuff all the time, first of all. And second, imagine if you had all kinds of needs. Would you really want a bunch of strangers coming into your house on a schedule? Nobody wants to live like that. People with disabilities, they want to live the same way everybody else does. They want to live freely and spontaneously. They want people around them that they trust. They don't want a whole slew of staff coming in to do stuff. Nobody wants that. So it works well that it's me doing it and that I don't live there. It's fine, but I need to be very close to him. So whenever people talk about like, why don't you just move, or why don't you get subsidized housing or whatever kind of housing, or I'm here for him. I'm here for Aaron. I love Aaron, and I live nearby so that I can take care of him and also, not lose my identity as Sonia. I'm only a caregiver or whatever. I mean, that's not the only reason we don't live together. There's a bunch of reasons. Hi, Jana. But it works. But bottom line is, no, I can't just move away from Aaron. And no, I can't just be replaced by someone else. Because, I've been doing it for 18 years and it's working for us, Actually, when Gunnar was, when I'm having all those problems with Gunnar and his autism when he was in school, it's lucky that I was Aaron's caregiver, because if I had had a job in an office where I had to show up at a certain time and there's no flexibility, I would have lost my job. Because I'm his, I'm officially his caregiver. I get paid for it this whole time. That's what I do, No, oh gosh, no, America. Live in low income. I don't want to, you guys, I don't want to live in the, what we call the HLM up here. No, thanks. I'll find another way to do it. What we're doing is working for us, bottom line. And if I get evicted, then I'll figure something out. But the thing is that the landlord has no case against me. It's completely bogus. He didn't do his part. He's just being a dick. And the lawyer that I had to hire her for a consult, and then I had to also go and see her. I had to retain this lawyer. I had to pay her a lot of money in advance, because it's either that or I cancel my trip and kick around here, and then go to court by myself. I'm probably going to need her anyway. So the lawyer, the landlord, is just totally dicking me around for no reason. I don't even know why, because it's not like I even refused the increase. I just negotiated it because they always ask for too much. It's totally normal to negotiate your increase. He's the one who refused it. And now he's trying to kick me out. Right. That it's because, okay. Sorry guys, I keep coughing, but actually, I don't want to admit it in public, but I actually got sick again. It wasn't the COVID, and it was a while ago. It was a while ago. It was a couple weeks ago. I got laryngitis. Yeah, I got laryngitis. It kind of surprised me. I went to open my mouth to speak, and I was like, and I was like, oh my God, what happened? Where's my voice? But since then, I just have, anyway, I'm fine. That was 2 weeks ago. And I probably just vape too much. Let's be honest. I blame the vape juice. It's something you should not do when you have laryngitis, is vape. I'm working on it. I got some nicotine gum. I'm actually hoping that maybe going to to travel and not being able to vape during the travel, it's going to encourage me to use the nicotine gum, and maybe I won't go back to it. Maybe I won't go back to vaping. Anyway, I'll show you my apartment, and I'm sorry, it's really cluttered, and there's garbage everywhere because I'm always I'm cleaning everything out, and it's so small, there's nowhere to put anything. But let me just show you. Okay, so this is my bedroom, which is actually, it used to be the dining area. Okay, so the kitchen is here. Kitchen is just a walk-through kitchen. Sorry, it's a total mess because, I'm packing and everything. I have all the excuses. And then here's my little bedroom, which I really love. And oh, cool. Okay, I'm glad you like it, artist. I'm happy to do it. And oh, look who's here. Here's my little bunny. Hey, did you make a mess? She's the best. She's really the sweetest. She sleeps with me and she goes on the bed. Um, and she like sleeps at my feet like a little dog. As soon as I come into bed, she hops up on the bed and she sleeps with me. She's the sweetest little bunny. She's adorable. Here's my living room. Actually, the lighting is not bad with this thing. So it's not very big. Sorry, that's all the rabbit mess there that I just cleaned yesterday, but it's back again. So 1, 2, 3. This is Gunner's room. Also a mess. So basically I have 1, 2, 3 rooms and the kitchen, and it's a corner apartment. See, I have windows on that side and I have windows on this side. And this is downtown Montreal in an upwardly mobile neighborhood. This is prime real estate. So even though my place looks like a bit of a crack house because it's too small for me, like my stuff is just everywhere and it hasn't been renovated. But man, these landlords want to get us out. They want to get us out and they want to redo the apartment. I mean, look at my kitchen. Let me show you this again. Okay, and like this light is burnt out, whatever. Do you like how I put the copper up there? When it's clean, it looks good, but right now I've been packing, so. But yeah, I put all my stuff on the walls because there's not a lot of storage space. Oh, my cupboards are open. It's terrible for like the room tours. I make a bad real estate agent. Oh no, it's opening again by itself. Oh, haunted. I put the stuff up on the walls and I thought that was pretty cool. And then I have my spanking paddle here. Naughty, naughty. So anyhow, so like this, oh my gosh, this mess though. Sorry guys. So these cupboards, as you see, are like super old. This is like from, I don't know when, really long time ago. And it's never been renovated. I have horrible tiles on the floor. These are so old, they're destroyed. They're just dollar store tiles. So what they do is they come and they put all new cabinets and they put all new tiles. They get rid of this flooring. See this flooring that it keeps coming out? I keep putting it back in, it keeps coming out. They get rid of that. They put like a new, like fake wood vinyl flooring. They fix the whole thing up and then they rent it either to yuppies or students. Mostly my building. Actually, it's all people from India, which is awesome. They're super friendly. I should have been born in India because my personality is like perfect for India. Because I'll talk to everybody, you know, like going on a laundry room and you're just like, oh, it's really hot today. And, oh, yes, so hot. And then next thing you know, you have a conversation, you know. But they live here like an apartment like this. There would be, oh my gosh, like 4 people in here for sure. 2 people in each bedroom for sure. Like they have, and they're educated people, eh? They come over, like they're working in IT and stuff, but they live no frills. Like they'll be like 4 roommates in a small apartment. And so the landlord will jack up the rent to like $2,500 because I'm only paying like $1,100. And he'll jack up the rent to more than double and he'll rent it to people who are working here, like who are here on a work visa and they're all living with roommates. Or it's like, you know, rich kids from Ontario who are studying here and their parents are paying their rent. And they want us out, man. They want all us old tenants. And I have a beautiful corner apartment. I mean, I know like it's cluttered. It's because it's too small for us. But like I said, prime real estate, it's like right downtown. And man, does he want my apartment. Because no matter what rent increases I have, it's never going to be equal to what he would get if he got me out of here. So the fucker's trying to evict me. Fucker. But he doesn't have a case at all. He has no leg to stand on. Anyway, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm still going on my trip. And yeah, I had to hire this lawyer. And I would have had to hire the lawyer anyway, whether I went on the trip or not. It's just that if I didn't go, then I would have had to hire a lawyer. Plus, I wouldn't be going on my trip. Anyway, maybe it's because of my age, but it's like I really just don't care anymore, you know? You're being forced to move? Well, no, I hired a lawyer. The claim is completely bogus. He's like claiming that I didn't pay all the rent, which isn't true. He charged me for something I didn't owe him. I did pay it now, but I want my money back. Oh my God, I'm countersuing him. That reminds me, I have to make an amendment to my application because I'm countersuing him, but since he didn't withdraw it, I'm suing for damages too. I probably won't get them, but anyway, still worth a try. So maybe my lawyer can do it. I paid her so much. She should just do it for me. So yeah, like that's happening at the same time as we're heading out on our trip, and the court case is going to happen while I'm not here. And yeah, in LA they kick you out if you don't pay the increases. Yeah, but this is Montreal, so we have laws, we have civil code, and he's not allowed to kick me out. And I counter offered. And I'm allowed to refuse. And then he just has to get the rental court to set the rent, but he didn't do it. And he didn't accept my offer. So I didn't do anything wrong. Nothing. Yeah, and I know the laws are different in like every province and in the States. No, they don't know I'm a caretaker. They don't. And I've mentioned to the secretary, I was like, you know, if he kicks me out, who's gonna come and put Aaron back in bed in the middle of the night? You know, if he falls or something. But that's not his problem. And the worst thing is like when just personal note here, you say that to somebody if you're like, well, you know, you should be happy I'm here because, you know, if he has problems, like at least he doesn't have to call the ambulance like once a week or once a month or whatever. And then they're like, oh, well, if he can't take care of himself, he should be in a home somewhere. And like a home like where my mother is, and those places are horrible. And like I keep him out of that. That's why he's not, because he's a chronic care patient, basically. And it's not easy to get help, you know. And the best situation is the one he has, where he has somebody who really loves him and cares about him, who does it for him, you know. And it works okay. And I need to be in this building so I can be near him. Otherwise, I don't care. I would move somewhere. But it seems so like sick and evil. Like I'm basically living alone in this apartment with my child who has special needs. I'm a caregiver of somebody in this building who needs me here, and the landlord wants to evict me for $275 that I don't even owe him. But anyway, you know, whatever, something, go to the press. Well, I thought about that. I was like, well, I could write to them and be like, listen, you want to hear what a dick my landlord is? You know, I'm a single mother with a child with autism, and I'm a caregiver, and they're trying to kick me out, and I don't even know the money. But I was like, you know, like, let's just go to court. I'm pretty sure that nothing's going to happen. I think if the court, like, agreed to evict me, then I'd go to the press, and I'd also appeal it. But it's not going to happen. But here's the crazy thing. What I heard, okay, after, is that the landlord now says, okay, they make their own rules now, that they're not going to accept any more negotiations on the rent increase. They don't have a right to do that. As in the law that we are allowed to negotiate, and they have to go and apply if they don't like our negotiations. They decided that if you refuse your increase, they're going to apply it anyway. And they decided if you try to negotiate, they're going to charge you the increase anyway. So this is what they are doing with everyone in this building who refused their increase or tried to negotiate. They charge them increase anyway, and they try to evict them. But it's like, you own a building. You're in this business. Don't you know the law? Don't you know that you can't do that? And they just started doing that now. I don't know where they get this idea. Why would they waste their time? I think that they think that most people don't know the law, and they also, because we're living in this building where, like I said, it's people like me who were here from before. There's a few like students from Ontario. They're going to just take the increases, and mostly it's Indians. Like it's people from other countries, but mostly from India. They're living like 4 people per apartment. They're not here. They haven't been here that long, and they probably don't know I think the landlord's banking on that they don't know their rights, because they tried to kick me out before. They said my apartment was dilapidated and they needed to renovate. They don't have the right to do that. They only have the right to ask me to leave while they do the work, and then I get to come back to a renovated apartment. But they tried to do it to Aaron, and I was like, oh well, I guess because your apartment's like, yeah, like the floor needs to be redone and whatever. And then they tried to do it to Mr. Patel, who was living upstairs, and I was like, I went up there and I was like, wait a minute, your apartment's not even, there's nothing wrong with it. And then they tried to do it to me, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, something here doesn't make sense. Once they find out that you're a caregiver, no, they know. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They know him. Well, they know I'm a caregiver. Their philosophy, like I said, is if he can't take care of himself, he shouldn't be living alone. They don't give a shit. Bad karma. You know? I mean, it's easy to say, oh, well, if you can't take care of yourself, you shouldn't be living by yourself. Wait till you have an accident or a stroke or something, and you discover that even after your accident, you're still the same person, and you still don't want to live in an institution. And then you're gonna be like, oh, so disabled people are actually like just regular people. Like, who knew? You know? Yeah, people are quite heartless, and it's not the first time I've heard that. I'm taking them to court. Yeah. No, I've had people say that before, like, well, and he should just live in a home for disabled people. But it's like, do you know Aaron? Did you see this badass barbarian? Do you think this person wants to live in a home? Like, people totally forget that people who live in those places are like real people. They're just like, oh, disabled people, or oh, you know, like whatever, seniors, or you know, whatever, whoever's in there. And it's like they do forget about them, and they do. What's the subject? Well, we were talking about the fact that I'm going on a big old road trip with Gunnar. That was on my bucket list, and I'm leaving Aaron for a while, which I've never done before. And that while I'll be gone, my landlord is trying to evict me for a completely bogus reason. Basically, life updates. And I'm doing all this because of the New World Order. They made me do it because, like, you know, while I had the chance. Hi, Olivier. Nice to see you. Yeah, so like before I have to settle down to my meager existence of owning nothing and having my programmable digital currency like restrict how many times I can take the bus and what kind of bugs I'm allowed to eat, I'm gonna go on a big spree. Rack up the credit cards. I mean, who cares? The money's not gonna be worth anything anyway. I just finally took 4 years to pay them down. Now I'm gonna rack them up again. I don't care. Hi, Bella. What if you come back and all your stuff is on the curb? Well, I don't think it's going to happen. Number one, it's not going to happen. But the court case is on the 24th of August. And then the court makes a decision, probably make a decision like at the end of September. But they have no case. It's all intimidation tactics. They just didn't expect that I would actually get a lawyer. Because they're like, oh, that like pathetic poor person who lives, they don't have money for a lawyer. They can't do that. Thanks for your donations there, because, you know, I have retained a lawyer, to my landlord's probably great surprise. The lawyer might even like get them to drop it before they go to court. Yeah, everything's going to work out. I'm not worried about it. So it's on the 24th, then there'll be some decision making on their part. And then I mean, at the end of the month there, that they'll have a decision soon after. And then if they were to evict me, they give me 30 days. So I figure like, well, I should be back by then, you know? I mean, what would really happen if I came back from my trip and I had like, you know, a couple weeks to move out? I don't know, use those credit cards and put all my crap in storage, I guess. It can be done. That's what people do. I mean, really, you know, whatever. I'm so done trying to like manage my life and fix all my problems. The name of the landlord, like, I don't know. Am I allowed to tell you? Like, I don't know. Get damages if I go to court? Well, I should have damages for moral damages. Like, when I got this notice about being evicted, I was really upset. I haven't been that stressed out in so long. I think it like even affected my immune system. I ended up getting laryngitis. And I'm not even sure if I actually had laryngitis, because this has happened to me a few times. It happened to me when I was pregnant. I got evicted when I was pregnant because he said he wanted to move into my apartment, which was a lie. He got me out. I moved here. And the stress was so intense I lost my voice. I couldn't talk, but I wasn't sick. Then when Gunnar was going through all this stuff, okay, I won't say his name, all the stuff that was going on with Gunnar with his autism, and we were like he was like in this special like school that was part of a hospital, and they were, you know, I mean, it's stressful for the parents because of course they're always trying to blame you for everything. And we were doing all this therapy and whatever, group therapy with them, and they hadn't diagnosed him yet with autism. They wanted to believe that it was something else, and it was like, well, it was my fault. Refrigerator mother here. I did it. So I was really stressed, and I lost my voice again. It cut out completely, and it sorry, it happened again. One more time after that. It's happened like 3 times before in the last 15 years. And then after I got the eviction notice, I felt really stressed, and then I couldn't talk. And I didn't even know. Like, I opened my mouth, like I said, and I was surprised. And I was with a bunch of people, and I was like, I was like, my voice was gone. And I was like, sorry guys, allergies. But I didn't have any symptoms. Like, I wasn't sick. I didn't have any kind of, you know, so maybe I literally lost my voice from the stress. I kind of think that's possibly it, because that's what it felt like. And it was only gone for 2 days. So yeah, he really stressed me out. I had trouble sleeping, and, you know, well, you know, I just don't know what the rules are, like with, you know, especially with also with talking about it on YouTube and stuff. I mean, I'll tell you after, but just to be safe, I won't mention it. It's not really a big deal. It's not like you guys are going to do anything about that anyway. I mean, you can't fix that problem. Oh my gosh, Miss Angie, yeah, I know. I saw the paper from, it was the CIUS, whatever, Montérégie or whatever. I saw the protocol, and it's real, like they really did. Yeah. But anyway, I don't want to go in that direction, but yeah, I saw that. So I'm doing my bucket list. I told you guys we're going to have a good summer. I feel like for 2 years we lived under like an insane amount of repression. And I got to this point where it was like, it was taking a really big toll on me. I was like in a really bad state of mind. I was stressed out. Everywhere you went, people were fighting with each other. They were fighting about, you know, what interventions that you should have had or not. I had a mask exemption, and I was in a store once and I didn't have it on. And some guy walked, like I was talking to a sales girl in Sephora, and I had taken it off because of my sensory issues. And I had a doctor's note and everything. This guy walks in, and as he's walking past, he sees I don't have it in, and he rips it off his face, and he like gives her the eye, you know, gives the sales girl the eye, and she's like, well, you know, they start arguing about why, like, you know, he has to keep it on, and I don't have it, and then she gets mad at me. She's like, you see, this is what happens when people like you don't wear a mask. And I was like, listen, I have a medical condition, and I didn't do this to you. I didn't do this to you. He didn't do this to you. I said the government did it to us. They're the ones that are pitting us against each other and making us all fight with each other. Don't get mad at me. I didn't do this to you. And she was like, you're so right. And then it was like, we almost had a group hug, you know. But it was, a lot of the time, it was like really bad. Like Aaron, you know, he doesn't have the full use of his right hand. You ever seen those big gloves? It's orthotics, right? So he can push his chair. So he's one of these people who can't really put, yeah, Olivier, can't really put that mask on by himself. He can, but not without taking off all this equipment. I mean, imagine if somebody had like an artificial leg, and every time they wanted to go into a store, they had to like take their leg off for some reason. Like you can imagine, it's kind of a pain. But this is just like a orthotic on the hand, but he has to take all this stuff off. And so normally you shouldn't have to take things like that off. So a lot of places were cool with him about not having it on, because the law here was if you can't put it on yourself, you don't have to have it on. And without taking all his orthotics off, no, he can't put it on himself. And we went into H&M one day, and he didn't have one. And the security guard was very, very aggressive. He like was right up in Aaron's face. He came so close. He was like right up against his chair. And it was like, what are you doing? This is a person in a wheelchair. Why are you making it out like he's the enemy? You know, it was making people, and we just left the store. We're just like, whatever. Um, it was, you had to pray a lot, during those times, because a lot of people were very hostile, but it took a toll on me. I was really stressed out. And sometimes like when you get in a really negative space and it's like you stop even enjoying your life, you stop taking care of yourself, because I couldn't do anything. Because every time I went out, it was all this conflicts about masks, and I was afraid to go anywhere because I had to choose between wearing it and liable to have a sensory overload, which looks like a seizure, in case you guys don't know. It looks bad when it happens, and it's scary, versus not going anywhere. So a lot of times I didn't go anywhere, or you go and you don't have it on, and you get confronted so many times, and it was really, really stressful. And I was not living, like I wasn't doing anything, not much. And then once they removed all the restrictions, I just really wanted to start living again, I want to start doing things. I joined the gym. I started going out again. And it was amazing once they got rid of the mask mandate, people stopped fighting with each other all the time. Because like it used to be, it was like, I guess for a lot of people who just wore it and didn't have an issue with it, they didn't mind. But for people who really had a medical reason why they couldn't really wear it, I mean, I can wear it, but for like a short time, it was just a nightmare for me to deal with all this confrontation. And I mostly wore it, but I couldn't go anywhere. Like I wore it, but I couldn't wear it for very long. So I couldn't really shop. Like I have a hard time being in a store anyway, without a mask. Maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. So with the mask, it was like 5 minutes, So basically, I really just couldn't go to a lot of places, It depends on the place. Like I had no problem being in Costco because I'm very familiar with the layout. So I'm not using as much of my brain. But if I went into a place where I have to use a lot of my brain, I can't do that with the sensory stuff, because it's not just the mask, it's the lights, it's the sounds. So it was really tough. So I was just basically not anywhere. And now I'm doing what you call revenge travel. Basically, that's what they call it. It's when, like, after you haven't been able to do stuff, then you do it all, Yeah, you too. Olivier. Jenny, you have the same problem? What, the sensory problem? Well, the last straw for me was I went into Canadian Tire and I had it on. Canadian Tire is very hard for me because of the kind of lighting they have. And also it's very big and I have to find things. And I had it on the whole time. And at the end, it's like I had it's not a seizure, but it looks like it. Like I'm not able to talk and like my whole body starts like shaking. Like it's just like, it looks like a little mini seizure. And I can't talk even if I want to. I'm like, oh, like it just doesn't connect. And I can't, like my body's just like jerking, and this happened like completely randomly. Like I was almost at the cash, I was almost out of the store, and it just like exploded, and like it started, like I think I hit the cart with this part of my arm, and I was just like flailing, and it was super embarrassing. Like you can imagine, like you don't want that to happen in public. People are going to think you're having a seizure, a stroke, or you're on meth or something. So it actually does happen to me if I'm under enough overload. It's like it just explodes. I don't know if anybody else has that. You can talk. Yeah, the surreal thing, like the depersonalization, that's like one of the first things. But if it goes further down, it can actually get to the point where like I'm not able to talk. It happens to Gunnar too. It would happen to him in school. You lose your verbal. That happened to me when I went to see my lawyer. And I didn't even have a mask on, but it's just because I was in an office, and it happened when I went to the rental board. Just being there, like on the lights and the sound. I was talking to the lawyer. I had to leave. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't talk. I'm having a hard time like talking. I had to go out and like unwind my brain for a while and go back in and talk some more. And at the rental board, there was all these booths, and there's all these people talking to their different agents. And so there's a lot of noise, plus there's a plexiglass, and I can't hear her, and I'm really struggling. And we have to speak French now. They won't serve you in English, so that was an added thing. And like I lost my verbal too also at the rental board. It was really hard. Maybe I could have still done it in English, but it was like I was losing my ability to talk, and I was using Google. I was like I had to type it into Google and play it to her. I couldn't even talk anymore. It's crazy. So like I really have that problem, so I try to avoid that coming up because it's pretty messed up, and you know, and when it doesn't happen for a long time I forget what it's like. But yeah, it happened in Canadian Tire, and they were like, somebody call an ambulance. Do you need an ambulance? And it's like, no, I'm fine. I'm just autistic. I wrote a note. I was like, I'm okay. It's just, you know, and yeah, I know I look like just a regular person. But anyway, so that was all really hard for me, like during those lockdowns and restrictions. And so now I'm just like, I'm so done with it. I want to put it behind. I'm certainly not going to sit here and keep myself in. You forget vocabulary. You know, it's not that I forget. I can type perfectly. I know it's just I can't get it to go from my brain to my mouth. It's just like it disconnects. I can't talk. I guess that's what it's like for nonverbal people all the time. It's just like there's like a disconnect, you know? So like I'll put it in Google and I'll play it. I know it's crazy, you wouldn't think, but yeah, it happens. Better to just leave, you know, and then decompress and then come back and deal with it. But I'm just autistic. Thanks for no, like just autistic isn't like I'm not dying. I'm not having a seizure. I'm just autistic. It happens sometimes. It's not a big deal. Yeah. Just looking for your comments. I felt super oppressed. Like it was horrible. We'll go to the Home Depot. Yeah, oh my God, Home Depot. And it's so big and I don't know where anything is. That's the worst. Although the acoustics are better in Home Depot, it's true. But the lights are bad. We still have like restrictions on travelers, since you were asking for when you come back. Oh, that happens to you? Wait, oh, I missed a comment. Wait, can I scroll it back down? Does that work? That happens to me now. Same, you're the first beside myself. Oh, yeah. I bet that we're not the only ones. It's crazy, too, because like an invisible disability, people look at you and they're like, you look fine to me. It's like, yeah, I look fine now, but like, wait later. This doesn't happen very often to me anymore. It used to happen a lot more. Wait, what was that about throwing people under the bus? Don't throw other people under the bus if your brain is not wired right with your lips. I'm not really sure what you mean. Hi, Joey. Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm verbal, but I have times where I'm not able to talk, so I can only guess that that's what it's like. I don't really know. It happens to my son, too. It used to happen a lot when he was younger, and because he's verbal most of the time, people would think he was just putting on an act. And the worst thing was they would talk to him more, and like several people talking to him at the same time, and he'd get completely overloaded. And they would say, he understands everything. And I'm like, you don't know. No, he doesn't understand anything you're saying right now. It's just all going right by him. He's not processing it. Of course, he understands English, but he's shut down right now. He's not processing what you're saying. And the more they talk to him, like, they think he's going to answer, but it's like he can't even talk at that time. They're like, that's not possible. He was talking before. I'm like, no, it's possible. It happens. Yeah. Oh, well. I don't know. Maybe they'll come across my video and then they'll see that and they'll understand. You're talking about the mask. Oh, yeah. I was saying that, no, the mask adds to the sensory overload. Yeah. So, like, I didn't want to go anywhere because autism seizure. I don't know what it is. And I've had this since I was young. And I even wondered if it was some, I'm not going to self-diagnose myself, but I used to have those like staring spells where you're like this and it's like your brain's going, wah, 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 you know, and you're just like locked into it. And it's, I don't know. And like, anyway, but there was that. And then sometimes it would be like, it was like I'd feel like my brain was going, and it was like, it would be like on a TV, like the screen, you know, the black and white, like the lines, and it would go, and it would like get really intense, and then it would go, and it would like mellow out after. I don't know what that is. I remember that from when I was a kid. I remember just lying there and feeling like my brain was like firing off like crazy. And yeah, when I was like really, really little. Yeah, I don't know. I've always kind of wondered what was that, where it's like it's almost like it's like sand, but like the an absence seizure. I don't know, but I would really feel it like it was firing, like, but it would start out like just a little bit, zzz, 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 and it goes, zzz, and it would be like, zzz, it would like reach like it would feel like things were just firing off, and then it would just fade away, and it would be whoop, whoop, whoop. Anyway, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's related. I haven't had that. I had that once like a few years ago, and I was like, oh, I remember that from when I was a kid. But anyway, so yeah, that's what we were talking about. So I'm really curious if anybody's ever had that. What is that? What I was telling you about there with the firing off in the brain and stuff. Like, I'm really curious. Is that just something that happens to kids? I never heard anyone else talk about that. It's like if your brain becomes like static, like on a TV. It would be super cool if like somebody else was like, oh yeah, I have that, and it's this or it's that. And you're like, oh, that's what it is. You don't watch TV, no, but you know what static is, though, I'm sure. TVs don't have static anymore. Not since a long time, right? So it's a metaphor, sort of, or something like that. So yeah, this is cool that I can do this live stream. Every time I do a live like this, it's about an hour and a half. I've discovered. I'm always like, oh, it's gonna be 20 minutes. But actually, in the end, I usually talk about whatever's on my mind first. I get rid of the news bloat, and I give you all my updates, and then I just like to chat with you guys at the end and like see what you have to say and sort of banter a little bit. Just reading your comments. Oh, well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I really love talking to you guys too. Anyway, if somebody knows about what that is, let me know. I don't really think about it much, but oh my God, the depersonalization thing, it's so scary. And like, I still get that. And whenever I get it, I'm like, okay, I'm just getting depersonalized. It's not a big deal. It happened the other day. Oh, it's Telegram going off, but I love Telegram. It's so awesome. You guys have to go on there. Like, don't even look for news on Facebook. Like, there's nothing. It's all on Telegram. And I get it from all over the world. And I speak French and German too, right? So I get all the German telegrams. And it's really, it's cool. I can see like telegrams from different countries. I lost my train of thought now. I remember what I was going to say to you. I don't know. Help me out here. I'm gonna leave pretty soon, but I'm just wrapping it up. I got distracted because the bell went off, and next thing you know, I was talking about something else. Oh, thank you so much, Steve. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put that towards my travels or my lawyer. Thank you so much. Did you go to the gym? No, I haven't been going to the gym because I spent, oh my God, the lawyer, man, I spent so much time. I swear, I must have spent like solid 6 afternoons dealing with legal stuff, and then a whole afternoon in Laval with the lawyer. Nope, no storming. It's all traffic. Oh, you've been watching for 12 years? No kidding. Wow. Yeah, it's been a long time, eh? Times have changed, but here we are. Yeah, and I was driving to Laval, and I just had my car tuned up, and they fixed the brakes, and then as I was driving, like the brakes started locking, and then I smelled like a burning smell, and I was like, oh no, now my car's gonna blow up too. But it was okay. It was just the calipers were too tight, but it was like smelling like burning. But yeah, so cool that I got to do the live because I've never done it on my camera before. Oh, depersonalization. That's what we were talking about. Yeah, like something will set me off. So what set me off was there was a weird smell in my apartment. I never told you this, but I almost gassed myself by accident once, actually twice. Like as if once wasn't bad enough. I didn't know, and I used a Coleman stove inside a house. And anyway, this was like around 1999, and I'm really glad that, like, I don't know, like it would, nothing bad happened to me, but afterwards I realized like, oh my God, like almost literally just killed myself. Accident. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Now YouTube's gonna hate this video. But like whatever, it was an accident with a Coleman stove. It's because it was cold and I put it on in the house, right? Bad idea. Don't put Coleman stove on in the house. Luckily there was someone else there, and when they realized what I was doing, they're like, don't, get out. And I was in the bathroom too, because I was trying to take a bath, and I had a Coleman stove in the bathroom. And they're like, you can't be in there with that thing, like you're gonna gas yourself. And I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. And then when I went to Mexico to visit Karen, they had a little gas stove, like it's just a couple of little burners, right? And I had done the cooking that night, and then I turned it off, and I made the mistake. I didn't turn it off. I didn't turn it off all the way. Chitin, yeah, that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Anyway, I didn't turn the burner off all the way, or the gas all the way down. And we're all sitting around, and we're starting to get really sleepy. We're all like, and her boyfriend was getting a headache, and he was in the kitchen cleaning, and luckily he noticed it, because we were all really tired and we almost went to bed. Can you believe it? With the gas leaking. That was that trip that I took where I stayed in her house. Okay, you're spamming now. Olivier, help me out, please. Somebody's spamming me. You gotta stop spamming, or Olivier's gonna have to fix that problem. But yeah, and so that completely scared me. Like, yes, God must have had my back, but like almost twice. Terrible. It was almost a statistic. Anyway, I guess it wasn't meant to happen. Thank you, Olivier. So I have this like horrible fear, like when there's bad smells. So the other day, oh, sorry, just reading Holly's comment. Okay, thank you, Holly. Yeah, I don't want a gas stove in the house after that. So, where was I? Yeah, so like there was a smell in the house, and it smelled like burning plastic. And at first my reaction was totally normal. I was like, oh, it must be something on my stove, something burned or whatever. I clean the stove. I still smell it. I'm like, oh my God, where's it coming from? I come in here. I'm sniffing around like an aardvark, checking out. Maybe it's the air conditioner. And I was like, oh my God, maybe it's a faulty air conditioner. I couldn't figure out where the smell was coming from. I opened the windows, and I left the house. I came back. It was still there. And I just like flew out of my body. I got so anxious over it. I just immediately like depersonalized completely. And I went to see the janitor, and I was like, please help me out. There's a horrible smell in my apartment. I can't figure out where it's coming from. I don't know if it's poisonous. I don't know what it is. I had a bad experience where I almost gassed myself by accident. Anyway, I was like, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm on acid. I'm like sitting on his balcony, and he's got this astroturf, and we're like, he always likes to like bring me in and show me his apartment. He's got a really cool like little bachelor pad. He's a really cool guy. And so I'm in there, and I'm like, he's like, come and check this out while you're here, He shows me the astroturf, and I'm sitting on the balcony, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm totally like I'm on drugs. Like it's horrible. I'm like, sorry, Mike. I'm feeling like I'm really kind of out of my body right now. I'm like having an anxiety attack, but I don't feel anxious. My heart rate's not up. I don't have any of the other symptoms. I just feel totally depersonalized. It's so freaky. And it turned out, I was like, please come up and tell me are they doing some kind of like, is it something in my house? Yeah, right. Could be cleaning fluids. Is it something in my house, or is it like one of the neighbors? He told me they were repainting the bathtub upstairs. So it was coming from the vent, and man, did it smell weird. Yeah, it was scary. And I was like, I fly out of my body. But that used to freak me out a lot more when I was younger. Apparently it's not unusual with autistic people. Oh, ask the janitor. Yeah, go in there with a lighter. No, but I knew it wasn't gas, but I just didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't know what it was. But apparently that depersonalization thing, it happens with autistic people. That's like a stress reaction. And it used to really freak me out when I was younger, because it makes you feel like you're on acid and like you're losing your mind. And it just comes out of nowhere. Like if something really freaks me out, it could be like a little thing. It could be like something somebody just said, and boom, and it's like, wow, it's like it just fly right out of my body. I'm like just really, really right out of it. But I've learned that, okay, it's going to go away, but it's so scary when it happens. It can make you panic. Oh yeah, for the thyroid. But I've had it since I was young. Like I remember it when I was a teenager, so I know it is very scary when it happens, but you just gotta be like, yeah, it's just my mind's playing tricks on me, and I just flew out of my body because something freaked me out, but it's gonna be okay. You lost friends from it because I can't deal with erratic behavior, but there's no behavior. Like when I'm having that feeling, like I act totally the same. I'm not sure what you meant. You can't tell if you look at me. You wouldn't know. I sound totally normal. I don't do anything unusual. I just feel really weird, you know. It's just all happening inside me though. Nobody would know. But it's very scary. But you get to kind of get used to it. You're like, oh, it's this again, you know. But the thing that scared me was the feeling like you're gonna stay like that forever. No, probably. I don't eat food with nitrates. I don't eat MSG. Oh my gosh, though, yes, like when you eat restaurant food. Oh, that's a different kind of, yeah, I know the feeling you're talking about. That's different. No, this is something else. This is really weird. Anyway, I guess I'm going to wrap it up pretty much. But I'm looking forward to doing more live streams. I probably won't do the whole like hour and a half. Okay, nice having you here, Melanie. Thank you. Wait, no, like friends change plans. Wait, I want to read your comments. Oops, I went too far. This is amazing. I love doing it on here. I should never do it on my laptop again, ever. It's like you try something new and then you're like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Why didn't I do it before? Like friends change plans, like on the fly, drive fast, then they get mad at me for reaction. Oh my God, no, I hate that when people drive fast. I'm not like a thrill seeker like that at all. Yeah, so I'm going to be taking you along and I'll be doing this. And I hope that we all have a good time together. And I only planned like the first half of my trip. Like the rest is not even planned. Like I only booked the travel and the hotels for like the first part. And I am going to be seeing relatives. So I booked it up until the point where I'm going to be staying with my relatives. And the second part, I didn't even book it yet because I wanted to change the return date and the website for the airline isn't working to let me do that. It won't let me change the return flight unless I change the departing flight. And then it wants to charge me a whole bunch of money for that. And I don't want to do that because my departing flight, I don't want to tell you where I'm going. It's a secret. But I'll tell you, I like old stuff. I like architecture. And so you're going to be seeing probably a lot of like historical stuff, not me shopping. Yeah, and I'm not exactly even sure where I'm going to be for part of it. It's the backpacking dream. So I'm leaving on Tuesday. And that's pretty much it. I guess I'll sign off for now and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Going to Portland. No. You're going to see. You're going to have to tune in to find out where we go. And I'll review all our hotels. Honestly, I'd much rather be doing this than sitting here bitching about the government. Oh man, I didn't even tell you. I have to make another video just to tell you. I'm just going to tell you really quickly, like the support is going way down for Liberal Party here. Like everything that they've done is just totally backfiring them. But I can complain about that or tell you, when we're on the road, I guess. I was going to tell you about all that stuff. But okay, great. So I better get going. I'm going to finish packing. Gunner's still out. I don't even know. Where is he? Oh, he's out with his dad. Oh, hey, Justin, you're back. Well, thanks you guys for joining me. It's really awesome talking to you, and it was super fun doing it on my phone. And I'm going to try to shut it now, and hopefully that'll work. And I'll see you very soon. Okay, bye, guys.